It was not my initiative to stand for SEC. It was all the district and city speakers who came and asked me to stand for this position. And I gladly said yes, I will stand for the good of our generation.
The battle for the Central Executive Committee Vice Chairperson NRM is unfolding very well. And here are the three reasons as to why I think ANITA Among is going to beat Rebecca Kadaga in this position. We all know that ANITA Among wanted to get to this position as early as the day he became the Speaker of Parliament. He started propping up battles. To an extent that few, I think last month, even Rebecca Kadaga retaliated, calling him or her Owechizigo, saying that he's getting praises for the development he brought in Busoga. So in the purpose of this video, I've come to tell you on how ANITA Among is going to defeat Rebecca Kadaga if everything is left as it is, what it means for our politics, and most importantly, the study materials we can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to know that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagali. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this will be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to.
One thing I can tell you, all the speakers all over the whole country support me. It was not my initiative to stand for SEC. It was all the district and city speakers who came and asked me to stand for this position. And I gladly said yes, I will stand for the good of our generation. It is a generational aspect. And secondly, we also need, that seat is for a sitting speaker. A sitting speaker. It is not for outgoing. No. The sitting speaker as we speak today is ANITA Among Magogo. Not anybody else. And I am telling you, Team Mulamu, I am going to win in Busoga 85-90% by the grace of God.
First of all, being in the Central Executive Committee of a ruling party like NRM, you are equivalent to being like a minister, because they also have the right of way in our country. Okay? They sit with the president at the helm. So you have a little bit of influence. So the battle is boiling up well between Rebecca Kadaga and ANITA Among. And for me, I think ANITA Among is going to defeat Rebecca Kadaga for these three reasons. I repeat, if General 7 does not intervene, Kadaga is going to be defeated. General 7 is the only person to defend Rebecca Kadaga, because he has ever come out to defend her for several times now. Museveni has blocked people from standing against Kadaga or Chigongo. In the last election, I think he allowed Chigongo to be challenged. Okay? I don't know if in this election he's going to block anyone. But I think the reason as to why he normally comes out to block people from standing against these people is also shielding himself. Because if you block people challenging your vice chairperson and the vice chairperson women, you are challenging even people to challenge you. If you allow every people to be challenged, yet you are not being challenged, it sends a message. That's how Genome 7 plays politics. But in case Genome 7 does not come out to block anyone challenging Kadaga, and I think he may not block it because Kadaga questions a lot, and since we are going in a transition, Genome 7 would want a yes lady or a yes man in the neck. And ANITA Among is good at that. He knows how to play politics. Since he has sanctions, blah, blah, he would want to be in government without the government throwing him out. So one of the reasons is one. ANITA Among is heading one of the three arms of government, the legislature, with a good budget. And we all know that to run in this election, you need money. ANITA AMONG has the money. Leading one arm of government, you have your own budget. And Kadaga is an executive. You are just given on someone's budget. ANITA AMONG has money. And not only having money, but also he has smooth hands. He gives out money. That's the truth. The difference between Kadaga and ANITA AMONG, that ANITA AMONG gives out money, even publicly, even to his friends. And we all know NRM MPs who have a lot of influence in the SEC election, they want a lot of money. Even when the speaker was being elected, this was the first time when the speaker, both the speaker and the deputy speaker, competed giving out money. The race was between Tayewa and Among. It has never been happened. Okay? So the NRM MPs were influenced because of money, and majority of NRM MPs, they can even sell their mothers if you've given them a good price. So since ANITA AMONG has money, it's going to give them money too. And remember, MPs are like a representation in a constituency. They will surely vote for him. Right now, Kadaga doesn't have a lot of money because in the executive she doesn't have his own budget. Okay, so that is number one reason. Two, ANITA AMONG can also influence things in parliament. He gives trips to members of parliament, freebies. He influences who is supposed to sit on a certain committee. So people who would want to get privileges, they will still vote for him, for her. So that is part of the reason. Number two, as to why ANITA AMONG is going to defeat Rebecca Kadaga. That's the truth. Three, Rebecca Kadaga, I think if you can look through the world, is not in the favorite books of General Kaguta Museveni, because even when she was still speaker, he didn't want, okay, he used to pass everything NRM gave him, but he didn't allow the executive to some extent swallow the legislature or to swallow parliament. He used to question a lot of things. I remember there was a standby when Kadaga gave money to parliament and General Museveni never wanted it. Okay? So I think General Museveni doesn't want bright people who question a lot around him. That's part of the reason I think General Museveni may not intervene in this election. And it should be a smooth ride to ANITA AMONG. Okay? Four, ANITA AMONG is also futuristic. He knows how to play his battles. I keep on telling people that no one can be the Speaker of Parliament by mistake after coming from the opposition. No one. It's not a mistake. She's a fighter. No one can be unopposed in a constituency just like that. ANITA AMONG came unopposed. So he's futuristic. He knows how to play his battles. To show you that he knows how to play his battles, even amidst this, ANITA AMONG attacked Busoga. Kadaga is fighting only in Busoga. If you want to know that your opponent is good, if he comes in your turf and you start fighting within your turf, just know you are finished. Kadaga has never gone to Bukedea or to Teso sub-region. You don't see battles. Teso sub-region, I tell you, is firmly behind AMONG. Yet in Busoga, you see people who have, by the way, influence in parliament supporting ANITA AMONG. So if someone brings you a battle to your turf, it's very hard for you to defeat her. So I see ANITA AMONG defeating Kadaga. But of course, as a person who wants change, I wouldn't want Kadaga to be replaced, because since we're nearing transition, those are the heads that can at least put out some reason. I know they can still bend, because even Kadaga passed the age limit, work together with the regime to pass the age limit, but at least he can put up some fight before he can bend, other than a person who can do anything. If he asked jump, she asks how high. He doesn't even question. Okay? But truth is, Kadaga is going to be wiped on the floor by Rebecca Kadaga. No, Kadaga is going to be wiped on the floor by ANITA AMONG. Those are my predictions. Of course, that's my opinion. You can also comment on this video.
nange benjagala obulungi